Hi, my name's Chris. This is Gaia, Angel, and Coco. We did a video the other day about how to pet a macaw. I did that video as a result of a very, very good question that was asked to me by an individual I had adopted a scarlet macaw out to. It's one of those questions where a lot of people wouldn't ask it because they might think that it's too simple or a silly question. Well, there's no such thing, especially when you're dealing with exotics. Now, in the case of response to the question to that video that was asked by an individual, said, I think it was a blue and gold. You said that you can touch the blue and gold on the back, but you just can't get near the head. He's kind of nippy, he or she's kind of nippy, kind of pecks at you at times, or whatever the case is, pinching. What we're going to do is I'm going to go through the motions with you here and kind of give you an idea of a process that you can use to break through two different barriers. And both of those are going to be trust barriers and communication barriers, because obviously they don't know our language, we don't know theirs. So it's all physical and tactile contact, as well as training processes with rewards. In this case, my training treat is going to be a peanut. We're going to, first I'm going to show you how to break through the barrier of petting the macaw when the macaw is in their zone, or on their perch, their jungle gym, their environment. So once you get through that, it's going to be a lot easier to start working with being able to pet on the head when they're on your shoulder or on your arm or on you. It's two different comfort zones. So with this bird, what you're going to do is, now obviously she's totally comfortable with me. We're in petting, we're used to being pet, so we're just going to go through the motions here. What you're going to do is you're going to reach as far as you can, and they're going to be still because they're going to be obviously looking at you and watching what you're doing to be certain where that hand's going. So as soon as you see those feathers coming up or them backing up, or any kind of response that would be defensive or even a lunge to keep you from going towards the head, you don't want to pull back. Okay, you want to stop there. Now as soon as they're done lunging at you, I mean, you don't want to get close enough for them to get your finger or anything like that. As soon as they're done, you stop and you offer a treat. If they don't take the treat from you, put it in the opposite bowl. It'd be a good idea to work with two empty bowls. You know, you get your food and water. Have either or, whichever one's on the opposite side of the sharp end, you want to throw the treat in there. Let them see and understand that they're getting a reward for the training process of you breaking through that barrier. It's all similar to a rehabilitation process, being that every bird has to learn and go through a training process to where they're not only used to being trained to trick, but they're used to the process of being trained. They're extremely intelligent creatures, and they'll learn from you. So what you do is you get as close as you can, then you offer a treat. They take the treat. Now when you finally get, this is going to take 2 or 3 times a day at different parts of the day. You don't want to do it like 3 times in a row or anything like that. If you're going to do it 3 times in one day, you want to do it once in the morning, afternoon, and evening time. Kind of give them some time to, get the idea that, yes, that was an event that passed, and it's obviously a reoccurrence, so there's definitely a training process happening here. Once that registers in their mind, they're going to get used to it and obviously know that you're looking for progress and that you're not a threat. So you get as close as you can, as many times as you can. Now when you can finally get close enough to where they don't get a finger, or they don't lunge or anything, and they're going to let you touch them, what you actually want to do is not go directly for the head. You want to touch the beak. And the first thing that you want to do, this is not shown on that other video, the bird tricks video. That guy's really good, by the way, but still. What you want to do is you want to go for the beak and tilt the head back. I don't know if you can see. Hang on. You want to go for the beak, and first just let them get used to you touching their beak. Now, if he or she is okay with you touching your beak, you want to stop there, give a treat, give it a few more times, maybe by the next 2 or 3 days. You get to the beak, and if they can let you manipulate the beak, the idea here is to turn the head back and shake the head like this. What this does to the bird is it's not really confusing, it's reinforcing the fact that you're trying to feed and care for the bird. If you notice on other videos where there's regurgitation involved, what they do is they regurgitate their food, grab the other bird by the beak, and they lock beaks, they turn their heads, they regurgitate and feed. They kind of dump their food down their throat to it's partially bonding. It's also done among mother and father birds to their young. Anyway, it's one of those things where after you do that with the bird is like, okay, I'm sold. I totally understand that this guy is definitely wanting to feed and treat and take care of me, or guy or girl. So anyway, so you get that far, you obviously reward with another treat, and hopefully within the next following few interactions or few days, you can slowly get to where you can touch the bird on the head. Now, the slower you move, sometimes that might seem, you want to be calm. You got that vibe that you don't want to be like the dominant male, like sit dog or anything like that. You want to just have the confidence level that, yes, okay, I'm comfortable, I understand, and if I get bit, then I get bit. It's just one of those things. You got to be ready and prepared for it. Now, if he gets nippy or she gets nippy at all while you're petting, you don't want to do this. When I jerk away, it startles the bird. They're very visual in the aspect of wanting to defend the most important parts of their bodies. And that, in this case, is going to be their eyes, their head, and their feet. Now, if you notice, whenever birds fight in the wild, the first thing they go for is each other's feet. Those are very important things, and the other bird will fly away very fast. Next thing is the eyes. So they're very protective, natural instinct, and that's just one of those barriers you got to get through. So once you get to where you can pet the bird, and they get used to and comfortable with you with their beak, then you can start doing closer interactions where they're actually on your shoulder. And you just, all right, you're messing me up, okay? So you get to the point where they're on your shoulder and you can actually touch, manipulate the beak, pet and rub the head. Now the best thing, you're going to love this when you finally get this far and you start petting the bird. And hold on, there she goes. She's like, yeah, pet me right there, pet me right there. Now they'll turn their head and they'll stick their feathers up, and you can just see that they're enjoying it. That's the interaction that obviously anybody wants to have with their macaw. They want to be able to snuggle, cuddle, pet, and love. Now you can get to that point. There's just a few of those, like I said, those proverbial barriers you've got to break through. Now, what you want to do is definitely find the best treat, the one that they're going to respond to the most. Like I've said in my other videos, avoid cherries, avocados, chocolates, and anything with caffeine in it. Those are toxic to them. Other than that, good luck. I hope this helps in any way. My email is on there. Contact me if you need any other assistance. I hope I've covered most of the rest. Now, you'd mentioned that you can touch the bird on his back. That's a really good thing. Maybe you can, if you're still having trouble with the head after a few days, maybe you can try going underneath the wing, and petting underneath the wing, and then slowly working your way up to the head. Now, what I've noticed is that with my macaws, after I've broken through those barriers, sometimes they still get nippy. What I'll do with them whenever they nip is I'll grab their beak and I'll kind of play. Now this is strange because I never knew that macaws played like this. Sometimes you can get their, you don't want to play right now, but look, you can get their beak and you can shake and just go, and you can kind of play with them, and sometimes that's actually what they're doing. Sometimes, in the past I've thought, oh my God, they're fighting, they're going to bite each other's heads off. Well, they don't do that. Sometimes they're actually playing. Those interactions, you gotta really pay attention and just kind of watch and see what they're doing. And usually, if they're not going for each other's feet or their tails, they're not fighting. They're just kind of it's a dominance thing at the same time as a kind of a rough house play. But anyway, I hope this video helps. If there's anything I didn't cover or any other questions, concerns you might have, give me a comment, post a reply, and I'll do whatever I can for you. Good luck.